Hey ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet LP, as we're back here for NCAA Football 14, and this is the Stanford Cardinals Online Dynasty, and this is a quick off season here as we go into episode number 50 here. And what a season this has been. Coach TJ Barnes winning his first ever national championship in his third year. And he has one national championship and two Pac-12 championships here. He is starting to go in the right direction, following the footsteps, of course, of his father, who is the current coach right now for the Highland Scotties there on our main channel. Go check it out. There's a link above and probably down below here in the video, or definitely at the end of the video here. I'll leave a thing there, a little clip or something, but nonetheless, this has been a crazy year. As you take a look here at some coaching changes there, and there are quite a few extensions, quite a few coaches also changed the jobs, and of course a lot of them got fired. But for us, we're going to be around for another year for Stanford, as we're going to try to go back and go in season 4 here. We do have a new OC and a new DC here that we'll have to whip into shape here, as you guys can take a look there. But for the most part here, I was not really expecting this. This was a crazy year to get there, especially with the way Taylor and Steve have their teams set up, and they've either won back-to-back championships, or they went, they usually the two just meet up in the national championship. And this year Taylor ended up losing the game, dropped him back pretty far there, and then Steve's schedule was not that strong for him to be in the national championship. And well, we were lucky enough to have everything fall in place for ourselves, and the way we played this year, even though our quarterback was not the most reliable there, I've had nightmares of Lance Davis throwing picks, but for the most part here, as you take a look here, our players leaving, he is one of those players that are leaving, thank goodness. But for whatever reason, he is projected as a first-round talent. Now, he did throw, quite a few yards there. He was by far the most talented, or had the most passing yards this season. Of course, the most touchdowns this season, but he also had the most interceptions. So take that with a grain of salt. But we got a lot of good, talented players there, and I mentioned before in past videos there that I know Taylor, for the most part, he is looking forward to some of these players. I think Steve is also looking to possibly try to snag some of these players himself. But with that being said, just take a look at some numbers here. There are some pretty good players here that I wouldn't mind having in my Madden universe that I'm starting here. Where I'm playing in, I believe, Madden 20, and then possibly carried over to Madden 22 with some later draft classes for the near future for this series, and of course my other series there on the main channel there on ESGNet. But yeah, this was a great year. I mean, you got Shaw, who by far, probably besides him, Watson, and Mosley's the other one. Shaw was really good. He had a good return there towards later in the season, and of course made a nice pick. One of the other players that's very talented, which will have him around for at least for another season, because he's not old enough to qualify to go pro, and that is Zach Milton, who's one of our other corners who has just had a really great year, and I'm hoping that'll extend even more. Especially a wide receiver player like this young man here, Brian Fields, 6'2", 180 pounds. A little, he's tall, but the weight might be an issue for him to go to the NFL. And regardless, with their with their ability, or their statues, with their height and weight, a lot of these guys will be in future Madden series. And like I said, we'll have a video about that, and when those draft classes will come out, and we'll talk more about them in those. But by far, these Chris Cronin, another great player there, one of our strong safety. It's gonna be really tough to have those players there, as like I said, can we go back, or can we try to, defend our crown this season? Well, that's up to this team that comes out. And there you see Victor Randall, his numbers. Of course, he won the Mackey this year. And Taylor, he is chomping at the bit, waiting to draft that young man there in the upcoming draft for the next season coming up. And his, I know, at least in their Madden series that they're playing in. Because at one time we had that same series going on here on the channel, but for whatever reason, it won't let me play anymore. But anyway, besides the point, I'm hoping that we can repeat. And repeating a championship is tough, especially when you have a lot of players that are going to be gone, and they're crucial, key cornerstones of your defense or your offense, and it's hard to replicate that. So yeah, there's going to be some things that we're going to have to be concerned about for next season, and be able to I know with quarterback wise, we'll have 2 new quarterbacks that I've never met. Of course, we do have one that's going to be a freshman, and by the looks of him, he could possibly be a day 1 starter. But I think with seniority and not necessarily experience, but just seniority, I think we're going to give it to one of the 2 other guys there for our team. We'll talk more about that and that player coming up. We might actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think we show the roster there for this young man. We'll talk about a little bit more about him later on. There's not much I know about him, but yeah, he's one of our guys that could be coming up next season. Right now, you guys are taking a look at Steve's players that are possibly going to the NFL next season, and he has quite a few guys for himself, so he's going to have a tough year to rebound back to, and so was Taylor, as he's going to lose quite a few players himself. Of course, he's going to lose. They're both going to lose their Heisman Trophy winners. Taylor's Heisman Trophy winner, of course, won back in season 3, and of course, Steve's won this past season here that we're wrapping up. So both of them are going to lose their Heisman Trophy winners. That means they're going to have to start all over again with that running game of theirs that has been successful for them. And of course, Philip Graham did a great job there. And of course, a lot of people are talking around the NCAA community that Graham could be a possible Heisman candidate. He has a really good game like he did against Cal and against that Arizona game, the Pac-12 game that he had, and of course a few other games he had that was just really out of this world. If he can have a lot of those types of games early in the season, then he definitely will be he will definitely have a good shot at it. But it's a long shot, but nonetheless a shot at winning the Heisman. So that would be very nice if we can get that here in this series. I think the last Heisman Trophy winner I had was, of course, in Coach Teddy Bond's season, in season 1, where we had Kason winning it. And then since then, we have not had no one win the Heisman Trophy for the Highland Scotties there. And I'm hoping we'll have one here in this Cardinals series. But yeah, we're going to try to defend our championship. I don't know. I know for sure we're going to play Illinois again as one of the as a rematch, and then we're going to have Illinois actually come to Stanford. This year we do have San Jose State back in the Pac-12, so we'll have them to deal with. That's a nice rivalry game there. Of course, we got Notre Dame we're playing against. I want to say we have UCLA on the docket because remember last time we played against them, we lost to them. And it's been a while since we played them. I think that was back in season 1 or season 2 that happened. So it would be nice to try to go back and hopefully we can be able to play against them. And of course, we do have, like I said, mentioned San Jose State, but we also have Idaho joining the Pac-12 as they will be a Pac-12 South representative there, as both New Mexico schools were demoted out of the Pac-12 and put back into the Mountain West. So yeah, there's a lot of big changes here, both in the Pac-12, and of course coaches changing, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators for our school, and of course other schools there in the Pac-12, and of course our sister conference in the Mountain West. There, a lot of changes there. So a brand new season, brand new coaches, brand new players, and just brand new storylines coming up here in the next season. And of course, a lot of things happening with Steve and them. There was supposed to be a podcast connection to this series, and I'm still trying to work on that, trying to find the time to get that together. I'm hoping that we can get that before we do wrap up this series, because we are going to play this season, of course, and then we're going to play one more season, which will be season 5. But if we happen to end this series before that podcast start, I do have that podcast still on the docket to be produced, and like I said, it'll be something maybe we'll have every other week where we'll get together. We'll talk about, basically it's going to be about just talking about our experience with NCAA football and just sports in general, as playing as team builders, trying to build a team. What does it take to build a championship team, and what it takes to and really how to do that. So we may get some insight on what we do and some tricks of the trade and stuff like that. That's what pretty much the podcast is going to be about. I'm hoping to try to get that together here soon. It's mainly my part that I'm having issues with timing wise and whatnot, because I got so much going on, especially with this second channel and stuff. So like I said, we'll have that, I'm hoping, here very, very soon. Because I would like to talk more with Steve and them about their time with this Dynasty, because this is the Dynasty they started now for a couple of years now, and they've been playing on it for a long time now. So, but I'm hoping we'll get that here on the channel here soon. But nonetheless, like I said, we got a lot of big challenges here for Stanford this season, and I'm just hoping that we'll have a successful quarterback. It's going to come down to that. Not to mention offensive line. It's been an issue. We do have some improvements in that, but there are still some areas in our game when it comes to offensive line that is still troubling and still an issue. And we're going to have to work on that. That's one of the things I am looking at. We'll take a look at that here in just a bit, of players that we're trying to bring in. And of course, we want to try to get a lot of those players signed, especially offensive linemen, signed quickly and early in the season. So to order to do that, we're gonna have to win. We're gonna have to win games, not necessarily blowouts, but we're gonna have to come in there and just put, as I always say, well, I don't say it. I don't think I say it too much in the videos, but to myself, a lot of times is, you got to put the boot to the throat to a lot of these teams. You can't go in there lackadaisical and just think you're going to win it. You got to go in there and show that you're going to win it and prove that you're going to win it. So boot to throat, as I always usually say when I'm playing the game off cam, where you guys, when I'm recording, that is something that is going to have to happen with this team. And it all comes down to the quarterback play. We got to be able to protect our quarterback and keep him upright and give him the time that it takes to get open. We have great receivers. We have speedy receivers that can help. That's another thing too. We're going to be doing a lot of different position changes. We're going to have a couple running back or a couple wide receivers are going to be playing the running back position in some certain plays like jet sweeps and stuff like that. We're going to start doing some of those kind of plays this upcoming season. Also too, we're going to still do the 2-back feature. Graham and Walker will still be back there. Walker, I think this might be his last year here with us. And we're going to do that. That worked out pretty well there towards the end of the season. And I feel like it's going to be a very successful thing for us to do coming up once we get further down the road, as we don't have we don't have one entire full halfback getting worn out. And that's another thing too. The fullback's going to come in and play here more often here also too. There may be even some plays in the playbook being changed too this season, and like I said, just like Coach Teddy Bonds, that's our bread and butter, our run, because if we can run the ball very well and wear down that offense or that defensive line and have them chasing after our halfbacks and fullbacks and maybe even our quarterbacks at times, then we can start throwing the ball around and just really just wear them out and just have them have their heads spinning. So that's something we're going to work on there. As you see there, we were showing there the recruitments that we have this season so far. And I think we have a good chance here to get quite a few of them. Now, I don't often show this, but this is our coaching tree here, and we are going to work on really this season, trying to finish up on our recruiting there, our recruiting efforts of who we recruit and how we're going to recruit them. And then you see here on the off-season recruitment there, we just got I think we got one player there, Brett Miller, left guard there, who had committed to us. Everybody else pretty went somewhere else. As you take a look there, and yeah, it was just a tough year. I don't think a lot of these guys expect us to win, go to the national championship there, or they just have no interest there. They maybe don't believe in the philosophy of Coach TJ Bonds, but it's their loss, and we'll see how they'll do there. I believe we'll see Brad Marshall in that Vandals team there of Idaho coming up later on this season. And of course, Cal, you see David Myers there. He's an athlete that we went after. And of course, Tristan Jones, that guard, he's going to the Fighting Irish there. And so, we can easily say, hey, best of luck there. But don't be surprised if when we face you guys this season, that we'll be pointing right at you and saying, yeah, look what you missed out on. So, but yeah, it's going to be a good year here. I feel like this is going to be a decent year. Will we get to the national championship? I would love to return back, and maybe even face Taylor or Steve there for that national championship for the second year. But it's all up to our gameplay and how well we play and how strong we are as a team. It's going to come to that. We cannot have hiccups. We can't have too many problems, because too many problems are going to cause too many issues, and too many issues are going to cause things to fall apart. As we take a look here, Joey Davis, he's an athlete. He's pretty good in a lot of different areas of his game. But one of those areas looks like a free safety there. We do need some help there in that direction too. Keith Franklin, another guy there. He's good at quarterback. There, wide receiver looks like. Well, we got enough wide receivers and quarterbacks that we can handle right now. So we're gonna try to see where else we can put him at. And looks like the best bet for right now for him, we'll probably see it defensively. No, can't find nothing defensively. So I think we're going to go ahead and have him in the wide receiver position. As like I said, we got too many guys in the quarterback position right now. And with the freshman that we have coming in here, if he doesn't start this season, I'm not going to redshirt him, but he is going to, he's one of, I think, 4 I have. But we probably won't redshirt him just in case the young man that I'm about to show, we'll see here in just a bit, does not work out for us. As for Ricky Jude, there you see he's pretty good. Looks like defensively there in the secondary positions there. It looks like free safety and safety. And of course we need some help in that area too. He's also good at quarterback, but it looks like he's really good at 79 overall there. He's a 75 athlete, so he looks like he's pretty good there in the free safety position there. So we're gonna put him there instead. And then there you see some of the positions, other players there in position wise there. We're also gonna move some linemen around too, as we're kind of thin in some areas. You'll see here in just a bit, and trying to balance it out as much as we possibly can. I was even thinking about moving one of our defensive guys over to the offensive side of the ball. Move one of our defensive linemen to the offensive side of things, but that just didn't work out. I was kind of tinkering around with it and seeing if if there was a way for us to move things around and get guys in position. I was even thinking about moving one of our tight ends. There's like a second or third stringer there, and move him there for a while, get him experience there, and then kind of move him back towards the next season. But Joel James looks like he is our sophomore there. He's a redshirt senior, or excuse me, a redshirt sophomore, and so is Jones there. James is going to be our guy there. Harvey's going to start. He's 77 overall. Isaiah Davis is the freshman, but I'm not really ready for Isaiah to go out in the field just yet. But if James Joel does start to show some issues and whatnot, and then we have to create a quarterback controversy, then I'm going ahead and we'll pull the trigger there and start Isaiah Davis there in that position. Isaiah had a good senior year and had put up some pretty good numbers there as their quarterback for his high school team. But if we have to, we will, and we'll go ahead and start him next season. As you take a look there, like I mentioned before, we have some areas in our game here, especially offensive line, that we would like to try to fix. And really, there wasn't too much that we can do as we're kind of really thin. There you see our guard there. We don't have too many guards there. We have 2 tackles, left and right tackles. I think we have a total of like 3 for those 2 positions. So there's a lot of guys that are going to be, a lot of backups going to be playing this season again, just like last year. But that is one of the things we are currently working on in this next draft class, to bring in some linemen here. And we're going to be trying very hard to bring them in here and try to get them going. There you see Joel James. He's now at 82 overall after the training, so that's nice to see. And then Jones, of course, right behind him with 75 overall. So, like I said, if this does not work with him from Boger, Texas, if this does not work out for us, and he is showing early signs of, because he's not that experienced, he didn't play, that much last year, or really at all last year, then there's a good chance that he'll get pulled for a couple games, and we'll see what our true freshman can do, who is in 82, I believe, overall, coming in as a freshman. So we'll just see how things work out, and we'll just play by ear. So I'm hoping that we'll have a good quarterback. He can't scramble, so and that was one of the things I was kind of looking at him. I'm like, well, we may have to, kind of do the same thing like we did with Davis. Is, if we can't find nobody down the field, then hey, just run it. So we'll try to look into that and see if we can possibly, that'll hopefully put us in a good position there to help us out with that. And we'll just see how. We'll just, like I said, play by ear and just see how things work out. But there you see a couple other players there. Terrell Hell's redshirt freshman there. Of course, Barber, he's going to be our top guy there in the wide receiver position. Harris right behind him. And then, of course, Mark last year had a great year as a backup. Now he is a starter tight end. Sears is right behind him along with McCall. And then Jackson, our only left tackle, but we will try to get him help for next season. He is a redshirt junior. So we really need to try to get him. We really got to get that position filled along with the guard there, because we got 2 guys going to be leaving us. So our guard, this offense, you see no left tackle or right tackle at all. So we are in trouble right now of trying to get some decent offensive linemen there, because when we get down to the nitty-gritty with the big games coming up, like San Jose State, like Notre Dame, like Cal, like UCLA, USC, they are going to play us tough, and they can swap guys in and out, unlike we can. And so our hands are tied. All hands are on deck right now, and really and truly, if we're going to win games, it's going to come from our defense. Our defense has to step up. There you see Mosley, redshirt senior here, his last year, and he's our guy there in defensive. He's one of our defensive captains, and he has to play strong. He has to play tough, and he's got to get that defense fired up and ready to go out there. So we really need a lot of help from our defense here to step up and make some plays, just like Zach Melton did towards the end there. And he's another one of our great corners that we have right now that is going to be very important for us to have him on the field and make some big plays there defensively. So, yeah, I don't know what this is going to be because, like I said, this is something new. Here we are making some of our final cuts there. We only had to make 3 cuts, and so this was tough to do. I didn't want to make too many big cuts here, but at the same time, it's like, who do you cut? We don't want to cut someone that it's not going to be important to us. You see, I figured that we'll cut this young man there, Silverman, and then I think we went ahead and I think it was a wide receiver that we cut. I think it was Randall there, 67 overall. Didn't really have the speed. And then I figure, he's not going to be getting any playing time any soon. So we just went ahead and from Hawthorne, California, we decided to go ahead and cut him. And then as you take a look here, just looking at some other players here that we could possibly cut. I can't remember who the last one was that we cut. But yeah, making cuts like this is always the tough part here because you don't want to cut the wrong guy and then have to go back and say, damn, we should have had him. I think Robinson was the last guy we cut, if I'm not mistaken. I think I went back and I think I don't think I showed it here, but I think he was the one that I decided I was kind of tossing, turning back, like, okay, we could cut him because we're not worried about that position for next season because we have those guys coming back. So Mitchell, they're another defensive tackle there, a possible cut there, but I don't think if I remember correctly, I don't think I made him a cut. But yeah, our defense is going to be very crucial for us, very important for us to have, and make sure that we can be able to be successful here in the Pac-12. So, like I said, going down the line here, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a year that, we're going to have to, there are going to be some sacrifices being made. There's going to be players that we may have to make some quick decisions here to change how we're going to play. We may even have to change the playbook just to, be a more of a, I was thinking about using a fishbone type play, more blocking than passing. But then, I was kind of thinking like, well, that may not work either. So, I'm trying different things. I'm trying different schemes, but this is gonna be a tough year to try to repeat. So it's not gonna be a walk to the park at all. It'll be a miracle if it is. We got lucky last year, getting as far as we did, and we're looking to just try to have a decent year here and try to bring some decent recruits in. And try to get those recruits in as quickly as we can too. So as you take a look here at the recruiting class there, you see a lot of athletes because like I said, we were looking at a lot of guards. We have a lot of guards that actually are interested in guards and tackles are very interested for coming to Stanford. So we're hoping we can get those guys here, sign them up quick and have them ready to go. And then we start working on other areas. We can fill in the plug in some other players in other areas, especially with the athletes that we're looking at here to help us out in other areas of our game. So, like I said, that is something we're looking at. There you see, it says we don't have a need at all, but I'm sorry, but we do. Especially in the tackle and the guard areas, especially on the left side there. We really need a lot of help there. So I kind of ignore this and just went ahead and just like, okay, let's just try bringing all the guards we can, just bring all the tackles we can, and where I'm not too worried about wide receivers, halfbacks, all that that type of stuff. I'm just worried about the line, the hog mollies down there. I worry about those guys. I want to bring in players that can help us out very quickly and very early. So offense is key, and then of course I got some CBs coming in. We got 2 seniors this year and 3 juniors. No lower classmen there, so that's something I'm looking at too. We're also looking at some athletes that possibly looks like they can probably play that corner position, if not safeties. And of course, we can convert those safeties into corners, and so that should be fairly easy to do. And I feel confident that we can get something like that going for ourselves. So, like I said, we're number 2 in the nation right now, and we got a lot on our plate here. A lot of people are picking us as favorites again. We still have, pretty much the meat and potatoes of our offense still intact, and especially our defense as well. And like I said, that's what, our defense is going to be becoming important for us, and we'll just have to make sure we, make the right plays there. So a lot of work trying to get this one done. And of course, I've already got the first couple of episodes already going. I already played already here as I'm recording this as we speak. I just worked on the first 4 weeks of the season. So we're trying to get season 4 up and going here once again here. So you'll see those here coming up here pretty soon. I'm thinking about going to a 3-day a week. Usually it's just Tuesdays and Thursdays. For right now, I think we'll stick with that, and then eventually, if I start picking up the pace, then we'll probably go Monday, Wednesday, Friday for this series here, and replace Tuesday and Thursday with some road to show or something else. So just depends on how often I can play and when I can play and stuff like that. I try to play sometime during the middle of the afternoon. Not late at night, because I've done that before and I'm just like, I'm wore out, like I can't play anything. I'm ready to go to bed. But there you see some of the red shirts that we made, and for those players there. And like I said, we got some good players that came in there this season, but we need more, and especially, like I said, in our offensive line. That is going to be very crucial for us and very important for us to get ready and set up here, because like I said, that was a big issue for us last year, but we were able to fix those issues and kind of hide some of that stuff. But there's only so much hiding you can do before someone exposes you, and you're just kind of sitting there thinking like, okay, what do we do now? So we'll see how things go coming up here in season number 4. Like I say, it's gonna be a fun season. I have a couple of teams I have in mind here. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, because I was trying to record this off season really quick, because we were trying to get through the off season quickly here, so I didn't get a lot of the off season I wanted here. I can't remember if I know we play Illinois. I think it's one of the first games of the season. I know we play USC, or not USC, San Jose State early. I forgot which week it is. Our first bye week is not until, I think, week 10 or week 11, something like that, there this season. So we'll take a look at the preseason poll before we wrap this up here. You see Air Force there at number 1. We're at number 2, and of course the Level 80 Lions, they're at number 3. And we're taking on number 6 Illinois in a rematch of this past season's national championship. Hopefully you guys enjoy that game too, as that was a really fun one. I'm thinking about maybe uploading that entire game in its entirety for you guys to watch here. So look out for that here on the channel. Matter of fact, I might just go ahead and leave a link there so you guys can check it out. It'll be on the playlist, but it'll be hidden, so you guys can check that. The only way you can watch it is watch it through the link down below. But there you see the top 25 there. There you see there we go. Our schedule here. Number 6, Illinois. The first 3 games are at home. Washington State is number 2, week 2. Week 3, San Jose State. And that's when we start Pac-12 action. We go to Idaho in week 4, and then we we host Oregon State. We go to Fresno State, one of the teams there. We, of course, played them last year. They're still in the Pac-12. Oregon, UTSA. I've been wanting to play them here in this series. along with Utah there, and BYU in week 10. I believe week 11 we have our first bye week. We'll scroll on down. Week 12 we have actually bye weeks back to back. One of those bye weeks will be a preview or a look at the recruiting. First look at recruiting. Then in week 13 we have a game on the road against hopefully high-ranked California. That should be a good one. Of course, Notre Dame in week 14, and then week 15 another bye week, and of course we'll give you guys another update on the scouting. So a lot to go through. There you see the preseason lookout for the Pac-12 North. Of course, we're there in the top of the spot there. California, Oregon, Fresno State, BYU, Utah, and Oregon State to round out the top 7. In the Pac-12 South, it's USC, Arizona State, UCLA, Arizona, Colorado, San Jose State, and Idaho there in the South. So that's what it looks like here this season. Take a look at our sister conference, and that'll be the Mountain West with New Mexico State there at the top of the list, Nevada, UNLV, Utah, Hawaii, San Diego State, New Mexico, Wyoming, and Colorado State to finish that up. Of course, there you see the Heisman watch, the early Heisman watch. Mark Wade there for Ohio State, the senior. We'll see Britton again as he's going for the Heisman Trophy as we ruined his chances last year against Florida State. Carlson there for Florida. USC, Spencer, that's going to be a good one there. And, of course, Hollis for Navy, as he has been up there for quite some time. A lot of these guys, actually, I think 4 of those 5 names have been in the Heisman watch there. Some of them kind of dropped out. Some of them been sticking around there. But, nonetheless, we'll try to see what we can do as we're back on this quest again here to get a national championship. Can we go for 2 in a row? We'll have to find out and see coming up in the next episode 51, as we start season number 4 of the Stanford Cardinals Online Dynasty. It should be a good one. I cannot wait. And, of course, I know Illinois is chomping at the bit to get revenge on us. And we'll see how this was going to go here. Of course, both teams are trying to stay in the top 10 there in this top 25 here to start off the season. So early loss for one of these two teams is going to hurt pretty bad, but it shouldn't hurt them too bad because you still get into the national championship with a 1 loss. But that is it for this episode of the Stanford Cardinals Online Dynasty. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. The links are down below in the description. Definitely check us out there as we keep up to date here on the channel of what's going on here and in a particular series, and also what's going on in the world of sports and sports gaming. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, get ready for season number 4. It is coming up very, very soon here on the channel. As always, keep yourself and each other healthy. Wear a mask, stay safe. And I will see you guys next time.